Because I didn't sleep with my BF, so he slept with my best BF, and to get back at him, I slept with his uncle. When I left the room where my best friend was doing the deed with my boyfriend, I went straight to my boyfriend's uncle's room and knocked on the door. I want you to make love to me. I expected him to look at me like I was crazy, or warn me for saying something like that, but instead his eyes were on my face. You're crying. I let out a long breath and put down my suitcase and walked into his room, taking off my hoodie and sweatpants, wearing only the underwear I had intended to give my boyfriend. Saint showed no signs of being affected, but his eyes wandered over me. I knew I looked stunning. This was the first time I'd ever been half starkers in front of a man, who happened to be Saint. Make love to me. I pleaded. Make love to you. He repeated. He was probably confused because I was dating his nephew. Yes, I didn't flinch. Saint took a few steps closer to me, causing me to falter a little. Was he finally going to kick me out of his room for talking nonsense? I held my breath, waiting for the inevitable rejection. I don't make love, honey. I only make love. My mouth opens, but nothing comes out. What did he mean? Wasn't making love and doing the deed the same thing? Did that mean he was going to make love to me, not with me? Well, frick me then. He took a few more steps closer until our feet touched and I had to crane my neck to look up at him. Why would I do that? I froze. Of all the possibilities I'd anticipated, I didn't think he'd ask that question. I didn't even have an answer, and that frustrated me. Benjamin and I broke up, I said through gritted teeth. What does that have to do with me? I squeezed my eyes shut and gently pushed him away from me because I didn't want to look up at him again. I felt so embarrassed. There were only two possibilities I anticipated. He would accept my offer, or kick me out of his room. I wasn't prepared for questions like that, and they made me feel stupid. I felt my eyes moisten. Maybe he doesn't like me. This afternoon, my BFF, Fab, had been courting him. Maybe he wants her too. If he went to Ben's room at the moment, they could have a threesome. I bite my lip and start to get dressed while he stares at me, unwilling to look away. I wished I could melt into a puddle or dig a hole and bury myself in it forever. As I finished dressing and was about to turn to leave, he pulled me back so that I bumped into him. He lifted my chin and I was too dumbfounded to speak. All I could do was stare at him. What did Ben do to you? He murmured, stroking my chin. He'd only met me today, and he already knew I looked out of sorts. Nothing, I said reluctantly, refusing to embarrass myself any further. So where are you planning on going with your suitcase? Find a new room and book it. My parents won't like me sharing a room with him anyway. It was a barefaced lie. All the rooms are booked. If you didn't want to share a room with him, you should have said so this afternoon. Well, that was before I knew he would be cheating on me with my best friend. I blurted out, leaving us both in silence. Tears finally escaped my eyes and I turned my head away, not wanting him to see. You mean that Fab girl? He asked softly. The girl you were traveling with? There was a hint of disbelief in his voice, but the truth was out there and there was no point in lying about it. I nodded. I'll get the surprise for Ben. I hiccuped, but when I came back, they were already in. They were in bed. And shoo, he said when I couldn't continue. He pulled me to his melons. I hadn't expected Saint to make such a move, but I realized I knew nothing about him, so I expected nothing from him. You don't have to say it. They don't care that they got caught. I still continued. They told me to wait until they were done and then, it doesn't matter. Don't think about it. I couldn't stop thinking about it. I'm pretty sure that's all I dreamed about when I went to bed tonight.